Have you ever been hard on yourself for dreams you haven't achieved or things you thought you would have done with your life by now but haven't? This may be the case if you're a multi-passionate person, trying to find your purpose in life, or had to put your dreams on hold for family or responsibilities. I'm all of the above, so I've been there too. I've spent almost 20 years just crapping on myself for things I woulda, coulda, shoulda been doing. I've finally let go of criticizing myself, and I'm happier because of it. In this video, I'll share the lessons I've learned so you don't have to waste years beating yourself up about things that in the end won't make you happy anyway. So grab a pen and paper because I've got journal prompts and they're gonna give you clarity and a plan, because by the end of this video, you're gonna figure out what to focus your time and energy on and ultimately figure out what you wanna do with your life quicker and easier. After all these years, I came to realize that living a life that's purpose-driven really boils down to this one thing. When I was a little girl, I wanted to be a famous actress. And as I got older, I realized that Candace Stewart, born in Kingston, Jamaica, was never going to be Halle Berry. And no amount of wishing, hoping, no amount of dreaming was going to change that, because it was nothing but a fantasy. Because it's something I loved thinking about, but that I wasn't willing to do anything to make it happen. And as adults, we need to let go of our fantasies too. The ideas about who we might be and what we might do that were never realistic. And I promise you, I'm not a negative Nancy, and I'm not trying to dissuade you from going after your biggest dreams, but I'm also not going to lie to you and say that you won't have to work for what you want. I've learned that working hard, making sacrifices, choosing how you spend your time and money, and learning how to get over challenges, those are the things that will get you to where you want in life. So fantasies are fun things to have, but if they lack a plan, or if you lack the commitment needed to actually do something about them, then please stop beating yourself up for not achieving them, and just let them go right now. So here's our journal prompt for you. Think about all the things you've said that you'd be, do, or have, but that deep down you now realize that you were never going to do anything about. Or at least never going to do what it really took to make them a reality in your life. So after I let go of my fantasy, I had to work on releasing myself from the dreams that were never mine in the first place. I remember there was a time where I was really being hard on myself, just kind of going back and forth with the idea of going back to school and doing an MBA. On the one hand, I thought it was a natural progression for my career. But then on the other hand, I really didn't care too much about progressing my career. I thought I'd do this if I saved enough money. And I should do this to get me a promotion. Or I could do this if I really wanted to. And all the woulda, coulda, shouldas just made me realize that this just wasn't something I actually wanted to do. And I had to stop pretending that it was. And I've seen so many people go to school and they study things that they have no business studying. And then they go off to do jobs that they hate because their parents wanted that path for them. And that brings me to lesson number 3. But before we get to that lesson, I want you to write down this journal prompt. What are some expectations placed on you from society, your community, friends, or family that have been influencing the dreams you have for yourself? What are goals and dreams you may have that are solely formed out of impressing or pleasing other people? Listen, I love a good argument, all right? And for years, my mother said that I should become a lawyer. But just because it's something I could do or something other people wanted me to do, it doesn't mean that that's the right path for me. Just because you're above average at something, it doesn't mean that you have to do it if your potential doesn't equal the desire to do it. So again, if you're not committed to pursuing something, don't feel like you're obligated to. So here's another journal prompt. What is something you're naturally good at, but don't actually enjoy or feel called to pursue? Have you ever felt pressured to follow a path just because you had the potential for it? Write about what you truly want beyond other people's expectations. I sometimes forget to clean out my fridge and the food expires and it gets really, really gross. And what I've realized is that even my dreams have expiry dates. So like the old food in the back of my fridge, I had to throw out any dream that expired. And those are all the things that as time moves on and my life moves on, they just no longer fit into that time and place of my life. I don't want those ideas of the past preventing me from focusing on my very bright future. You know, at the beginning of this video, I talked about what I wanted to be when I grew up. And what I didn't tell you are the specifics of that dream. Specifically, I wanted to be a soap star because I was obsessed with things like Young and the Restless, Days of Our Lives, and there's a show called Passions. I don't know if you used to watch that stuff, but yeah, that was a thing back in my day. And I will literally act out the roles because I'm all about the drama, baby. Just look at my videos on my channel. You'll see that I just love the drama. But just because I wanted something as a teenager doesn't mean I need to still be chasing that dream at 29 or 39 or 49. I had made this video before about like some of life's worst life advice. And I said one of them is to never give up. Because there's a big difference between giving up on a dream and setting yourself free. So if you realize that you already have so much of what you need in your life to be happy, then why continue to feel inadequate because you never did what you thought you would or haven't got what you thought you would have by this point in your life? What's a dream or a goal that once excited you but no longer fits into your life? Why does it no longer align with who you are today? Write about how letting go of it can free up space for new possibilities. At one point in my life, I was dreaming about entering a bikini body competition. You know, I trained by myself and I got myself into really good shape. And I figured if I could do that, what would happen if I actually hired somebody whose job was to get people ready for these types of competitions? And I could just imagine myself on stage just winning a trophy. And it was getting me really excited. But as my life shifted, so did I. So what I've learned is that it's not always the dream that expires, but that sometimes it's the person that changes. My ideals and values aren't what they used to be, and I realized that I was putting a lot of time and effort into something that ultimately won't make me happy. I mean, I still value my health and fitness, but not to the point where I have to work that hard and feel that exhausted and hungry all the time. So I guess what I'm really saying is that I like food more than I appreciate having abs. But seriously though, overall, I still struggle with doing things that aren't aligned with my values and ideals. Those things that move me forward with one thing, but that takes me further away from something else that's important to me. So I've been doing this values exercise that's helping me make better decisions that are based on what I currently prioritize so that they align with the life I want to create. So if you feel stuck or conflicted, this exercise can help reveal whether you have competing values. And you may realize that these competing values are making you sabotage yourself and sabotage your progress. So stay tuned for that video, and if this video was helpful to you, please subscribe and like and share it with somebody else that you think it may actually benefit. And I'll see you next time. Bye!